A friend of mine recently bought an iPhone XR for his dad for about 35,000 rupees. When I asked him why he didn't get something like the OnePlus Nord or the Galaxy M51, he said, and I quote, "I just don't trust Android phones to last longer than 2 years." Which is definitely arguable, but also quite true to an extent, right? Software updates have been a nightmare for Android users for years, for more than a decade actually. Sure, things have gotten a little better over the past few years. Actually, the right way to say it is, it has become less terrible than before. Apple's iPhones and iOS are just so far ahead when it comes to longevity, which means the cost per year you spend on a phone goes down. Buying an iPhone XR for like 35,000, it does seem a little more cost effective than a Galaxy M51 for 23,000. Of course, after 2 years, when you buy another Samsung phone for 25,000, that will definitely be better than the iPhone XR. So for the final 2 years, you get to use a better phone, but then the total cost also becomes higher, right? Even Google itself does not provide more than 3 major Android updates, and that says a lot. The majority of Android phone manufacturers do not provide more than 2 updates, and a lot of them actually launch their phones with the previous Android version, so they actually count the current Android version as one major update. Kinda unfair. Okay, first let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what it's going to be like from 2021. Google and Qualcomm have joined hands to make sure Android phones will get 4 Android versions. It's actually not 4 updates. The 4 includes the current version that the phone already has at launch. So basically, it's the current version of Android plus 3 major Android updates plus another year of security patch updates. So being able to use an Android phone for about 4 to 5 years seems a bit more realistic now. But there are a few things to keep in mind. Number 1, existing Android phones, including the one you have with you right now, will not get 3 major Android updates unless it's a Pixel or a Samsung flagship from the past 2 years, which are anyway slated to get 3 updates. Number 2, if it wasn't already obvious, this is only for phones with Qualcomm Snapdragon chips. Anything with MediaTek or HiSilicon Kirin or Exynos chip do not come under this program. In a month or two, Qualcomm will probably announce some new Snapdragon chips that will support 3 major updates. We will get the list very soon. For now, the new Snapdragon 888 chip is on the list, which is Qualcomm's latest flagship SoC, successor to the 865 Plus chip. Most probably, all the upcoming Qualcomm chips will support this, even mid-range and budget ones, like the 700 series, the 600 series, and so on. Number 3, whatever Google and Qualcomm have done, it's just a groundwork. They just laid the foundation. So whether you actually get 3 major updates or not is still up to your device manufacturer. Brands may intentionally skip an update for budget phones. They might be like, okay, this is a 10,000 rupee phone, so 2 major Androids should be enough. But let's give 3 updates for this phone because it's a mid-range phone or a flagship phone. You know, this could be a differentiating factor between budget, mid-range and flagship phones. Could be or could be not. The point is, it's up to the individual brand. Until now, brands have been struggling to provide 2 or 3 major updates because the process itself is like very complex. Now, Google and Qualcomm have made the process relatively easy. So if you still don't end up receiving 3 major updates, only your device manufacturer is responsible for it. Now, this whole thing is kind of an extension or enhancement of Project Treble. I don't know if you remember what it is. Basically, Google came up with something to help brands speed up the process of giving updates. Whatever we covered in this video, it's about giving more updates. Project Treble is about giving updates faster. So that's the difference, and it has worked quite well so far. Here's a graph showing the amount of time it took for Android 9, Android 10 and Android 11 to reach the users, either via new phones or via updates. It's definitely getting better. Now, this whole thing by Google and Qualcomm is a really interesting move in the smartphone industry because for the past 1 year or so, MediaTek has been making great chips. The G series ones like the G80, G90, G95, etc. are really good, and some of them are actually better than Qualcomm chips on similarly priced phones. There's been a huge deflection in market share as well. In fact, after several years of dominance by Qualcomm, MediaTek has just gone past Qualcomm and become the biggest smartphone chipset company in the world. In fact, the difference is much wider here in India. Qualcomm were 7% ahead of MediaTek in 2019. Now they're 8% behind MediaTek. But this move from Qualcomm could turn out to be a huge blow to MediaTek. Hopefully MediaTek also works with Google to bring something up like this. Otherwise, if you're getting a new phone in 2021, you know which specification to look for. Now, listen carefully. You could just subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon and stop watching this video right now. We've discussed all the important stuff. Or if you're interested, you can also watch the next couple of minutes. I'll explain what exactly Google and Qualcomm have done to achieve this. It's interesting. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible without using any technical jargons. Basically, the software that's running on your phone is comprised of two parts. Part 1 is handled by the chip maker. It has some important code that takes care of all the internals, like how the processor should communicate with the rest of the components, etc. Part 2 is handled by the phone company and Google. It has all the features and stuff. Now, for each Android update that you get, the chip maker has to modify the first part and the device manufacturer has to modify the second part. Now, the brand may also be using different chipsets on different phones, right? Also, the brand may launch new phones with a newer Android version, so the chip maker has to come up with multiple combinations of that first part of software in order to support the new device as well as updates on older devices, which is really hard considering the insane number of devices launching these days. So this partnership between Qualcomm and Google is all about reducing that number of combinations that they have to create. Now Qualcomm will support new devices as well as upgrades on older devices without having to modify that first part of the software. And the second part, which is handled by Google and the device manufacturers, Google has said a single version of it can support multiple chipsets. So naturally, if you do all the calculations, permutation combination, a plus b the whole squared, well, they now need only very few combinations. That's it. I don't know if you found this interesting. If you did, hit the like button. If you didn't, then hit the subscribe button. See, I'm okay with anything. I take criticisms positively. That's it. Thanks for watching. Ashwin Sundar from Technology Jock. I'll see you in the next one. Bye and take care.